Eamonn Holmes has always been the familiar face that made mornings brighter. His laughter, his honesty, that unmistakable Irish charm that somehow made every conversation feel like you were talking to an old friend. For years, he's been the steady heartbeat of daytime television, the comforting voice, the man who could make you smile even when the news wasn't so good. But behind that warmth and wit, something heartbreaking has unfolded. Those close to Eamonn and his wife, Ruth Langsford, say life for the beloved couple has changed in ways they never could have imagined. The laughter that once echoed through their home has grown quieter, replaced by whispers of worry, by long nights of uncertainty. For months, fans noticed Eamonn's absence from television, his slow movements, the pain etched into his usually cheerful expression. Many assumed it was exhaustion, maybe the toll of decades in broadcasting. But then came the news no one was ready to hear. Doctors delivered a diagnosis that sent shockwaves through their world, a condition far more serious than anyone expected. And when those words were spoken, everything seemed to stand still. Ruth was there, holding his hand, the same hand she's held for over 2 decades. And as the doctor explained what lay ahead, her strength, the strength she's always been known for, finally broke. Tears fell, not out of weakness, but out of love, out of fear, out of the realization that the man who had always been her rock was now the one who needed saving. Those who know Ruth describe that moment as one of the hardest she's ever faced. She has always been Eamonn's anchor, calm, capable, endlessly patient. But now the tides have shifted. The woman who once reminded him to slow down, to take care of himself, is now fighting to hold herself together. Since that day, Ruth has quietly stepped back from her busy schedule. Her focus now lies entirely on the man she loves. Friends say she's turned their home into a little sanctuary. Soft light, laughter from old TV reruns, the smell of Eamonn's favorite dinners filling the air. She doesn't want him to feel like a patient. She wants him to feel loved, whole, safe. She's been his everything, one friend said softly. She's at every appointment, every therapy session. She's his strength, even when her own heart is breaking. And Eamonn? He's still Eamonn. Still cracking jokes, still trying to make her laugh through the tears. That sparkle in his eye may have dimmed at times, but his spirit, that mischievous, unshakable spirit, is still there. He recently told friends, "Ruth's been my absolute anchor. No matter how rough the sea gets, she keeps me afloat." That's love, real love, the kind that doesn't fade when things get hard, the kind that grows stronger in the storm. But make no mistake, the days haven't been easy. Behind closed doors, Ruth has had moments where the weight feels unbearable, when the fear creeps in late at night and she lies awake praying for better news, when she catches herself staring at him, memorizing his smile, his laugh, terrified of what might come next. But somehow, she always finds the strength to smile when he needs it most. Friends say she still teases him like always. "You're not getting out of the dishes that easily," she jokes, and he'll grin, shaking his head, that familiar spark of playfulness between them lighting up the room once again. It's that playfulness, that shared humor that's always defined their love. They're not just partners, they're best friends. 2 people who have built a life filled with laughter, arguments over TV shows, cups of tea, and quiet Sunday mornings. And now more than ever, they're clinging to those small, beautiful moments. Fans across the nation have poured out their love for the couple. Messages of hope, prayers, and memories flood social media every day. One fan wrote, "Eamonn's laughter has carried me through hard times. Now it's our turn to carry him." Another said, "Their love story has always inspired us. Now they need that same love to heal." It's a reminder that Eamonn and Ruth are more than just TV personalities. They're part of the fabric of people's lives, a symbol of love that feels real, human, and enduring. And even through the pain, they've never lost their sense of gratitude. Eamonn has continued to thank his fans, often saying how much their messages lift his spirits on the toughest days. He jokes that Ruth reads every single one out loud, even the long ones, and hearing how much people care gives him strength. Medical experts remain hopeful. With time, rest, and determination, recovery is possible. But for now, the focus isn't just on healing the body, it's about keeping the heart strong. And that's exactly what Ruth is doing, day by day, step by step, with love so deep it could move mountains. In quiet moments, when it's just the two of them, no cameras, no bright lights, they sit together in silence. Sometimes she leans her head on his shoulder. Sometimes he cracks a small joke to make her laugh through the tears. And in that laughter, in that simple act of love, there's hope. Hope that better days are coming. Hope that love, their love, will carry them through every challenge ahead. Eamonn Holmes may be facing one of the hardest battles of his life, but he isn't facing it alone. Because standing right beside him, as he always has, as he always will, is Ruth Langsford, his wife, his best friend, his heart. And together, they're not giving up. If you ever loved watching them, if their laughter has ever made your morning brighter, send them your love today. Because love, after all, is the greatest medicine of all.